What's up, boys? We're back on Bedwars. So Tammy's telling the story of the craziest school field trip that I've ever been on. So this was back like 6 years ago, at the beginning of 6th grade. Basically, so how my middle school worked was each grade was split up in half. So it'd be like 2 different teams, and they were based off like, oh my god. I was about to say it was based off of color. Not what I meant. The teams were named color. We were not... No. This is... No. Yo! Yeah, so since the grade was split in half, only half the grade went on the field trip at once. And so, oh my god. And so this field trip was like a 3-day trip to this like environmental camp in like a whole different state, like 2 hours away. And basically while you were there, you'd stay in these like dorm rooms, basically, with like 4 or 5 other people. And during the day, you just like hike and stuff. It was like in the middle of the woods. Like complete middle of nowhere, and you'd kind of just learn about like the environment. And so as I said, only half the grade went at once. Basically the first half of the week, half the grade would go, and then the other half of the week the other would go. And so I was in the second group. Obviously I still had to go to school during the first half of the week while they were there, and obviously it's middle school, so the rumors that were going around while the other half was there were actually insane. People were saying there was like a bear attack, dude. There was just like some unreal stories. I didn't really think of this at the time, but like, how would we know anything about what was going on there? Like you weren't allowed to bring your phone or anything, so I don't know how we would have been informed, but I'm pretty sure the rumors were true. But yeah, so after hearing all these crazy rumors, I was pretty excited to go. And eventually, a few days later, it was time for me to go. And I actually got really lucky because the second group would come back on Friday, I guess? Or maybe it was Saturday. I don't remember. But we came back and then had the weekend to like recover from it. But dude, the other half came back and then just had to go to school the next day and just pretend like nothing happened. Like, I actually cannot imagine. I remember we had to get up super early to get on the bus to go there. Like, I got up at like 5:30 or something. I was actually low-key nervous because I had never been away from home, like, at all. Like, the longest I had been away from home at the time was, like, a sleepover. And even then, I, like, barely slept over other people's houses. I only wanted to sleep over at mine. But yeah, so we get on the bus at, like, 6 a.m. or something. And then we're on the bus for, like, 2 hours. It's actually a super nice bus. It's, like, I'll try to find a picture of it, but it's, like, one of the super nice field trip buses. It's not, like, a school bus. And so, yeah, we're just on the bus. We weren't allowed to bring our phones or anything, so, like, I don't even remember what I did, but it felt incredibly long. But eventually we got there, and immediately I was like, bro, what is this? Like, I'm not trying to say the place was bad, but, like, it was just not at all what I was expecting. It was, like, it felt like camping, honestly, but like with electricity. It just felt like a kind of a rundown campground a little bit, a summer camp type place. That's what it felt like, which I think it was, so kind of makes sense. But yeah, so we get there and the first thing we do is like take attendance, and then right after attendance we got to find out who was in our room, who was in our like hiking group or whatever, basically just people we'd be doing the activities with, and then who we'd be eating with. And so activity group was like 10 people, the people you'd eat with was like 4 people, maybe like 5, 6, and then your roommates were like 4 or 5 people. But something I forgot to mention was basically before we went on the trip, we had to like fill out this form, basically just telling the school who we were friends with and like who we wanted to be in a room with, because I don't know, for some reason they wanted to put us with people we were actually friends with for once. I don't think a school has ever done that. But yeah, so that meant my roommates were actually like pretty good. So I was like really good friends with like 4 out of 5 of them. And then the other kid, just none of us knew. I don't know how he ended up in there, but he was fine. He was a little odd. He kept talking about quote unquote contraband, and it was like a clothespin or something. But so my 2 other groups were like not really people I was friends with, but like it was fine. Like I didn't really care. It didn't really matter to me that much. I thought it would still be fun anyways. And so after that we went up to the rooms for the first time, and I was like, oh yeah, this isn't exactly the nicest spot. Luckily I did get a bed. The one kid that we didn't know did not get a bed the first night, so yeah, he didn't seem to mind though, so that was fun. But yeah, so after that we went on a hike. It was a pretty cool place to go on a hike. Like it was like on this mountain kind of, and I think it used to be like a skiing place, so it was pretty cool. But then after that, we just ate dinner, and all I remember is getting told about FNAF lore. I didn't ask for that, but I was given great detail about FNAF lore. And yeah, I really learned a lot from that. I don't know how that topic came up in conversation. I think... Oh, okay. But yeah, so during the day, the first day, it wasn't very interesting. Kind of just like pretty much what I expected, like nothing crazy at all. But after this is where it starts to get kind of interesting. So it got to nighttime and we had to go in our rooms, and they gave us like an hour or 2 to just do whatever we want in our rooms. I don't know why. And then we were forced to go to sleep at a certain point. Before we went to sleep, me and my roommates had this idea. So basically at night there'd be teachers that were like basically on patrol trying to make sure like people were asleep and no one like I don't know, got out of bed when they weren't supposed to. But obviously at some point the teachers need to go to sleep too, because these aren't people that work there. These are like legitimate teachers, just like from our school. And so we were like, okay, if we stay up long enough, at a certain point they'll go to sleep too. And after that, we can play hide and seek in our room. I don't know why this was like a wild idea to us, like playing hide and seek in our pitch black room, but as soon as the idea was brought up, we were committed to doing it. It just had to happen. And so at a certain point we were told we had to go to sleep, and dude, oh my god, for some reason it was like, okay, it was like one of those times where like you're not supposed to be talking or anything, and for some reason that just makes everything 10 times funnier. Like we would be completely silent, and the smallest bed creak, dude, everyone would burst out laughing. And so since we had teachers like patrolling the halls trying to make sure that everyone was just asleep, eventually they heard and they were not very happy, and this led to a teacher just standing in our room for like half an hour, just waiting for us to go to sleep. Like, just literally standing in our room, just looking at us while we were trying to go to sleep. And it was just a very odd experience to have one of your teachers in your room while you're trying to sleep and just standing there. Because these weren't even teachers that we didn't know. Like, these were teachers, like, these were our teachers. It was just a really odd experience. But yeah, so that was pretty much night one. Eventually we fell asleep, and we did not play hide and seek. So the next morning we wake up. For some reason, every morning we'd go outside and take attendance. I don't know, like, how someone would have left, but so we go outside, and rumors start circulating that this one kid somehow had his entire, like, everything he brought was dumped into a toilet, like, as soon as we got there. And I don't know, like, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense that we didn't find out about this until then, but, like, how does that even happen? Like, I just can't fathom how that even occurs. I don't even remember, like, how he solved that problem. I honestly have no idea. But it was confirmed to be true. I did find out that it was, in fact, true. I just assumed it was not real, but it was in fact real. And so also while attendance was being taken, we heard some more rumors. We heard someone say that apparently this one teacher that everyone thought was kind of creepy literally was in their room the entire night. Like, they just kept talking, and literally, like, eventually they all fell asleep, and when they woke up, the teacher was still in their room, just standing there. Not literally not doing anything. Just literally just standing there. Like, they had all been asleep for hours. I still to this day don't know if that was true, but I think it's really funny. Like, imagine waking up, seeing your teacher in your room. If that actually happened, like, that is legitimately so weird. Like, after hours of no one talking, like, you would think at a certain point, they'd just be like, okay, I think everything's done. Think I could probably leave. But yeah, so later that day we ate dinner, learned a little bit more about FNAF lore. Still have not asked about it, just have been told about it. I don't know what prompted the person to tell me about it, but you know, it gave me something to listen to. It was like a podcast. So after dinner that night, pretty late, we went outside and we were told ghost stories. I don't know why this was the thing that we did. Yeah, the people who worked there, like, were telling ghost stories and stuff, and one of the, I don't know, dude, the people that worked there decided it would be a good idea to hide in the woods and scare us while we were being told ghost stories. And, yeah, it was a scarring experience. But yeah, so also that night, I was told that someone got their phone smashed on the ground because you weren't supposed to have your phone. I know that that wasn't true, but the rumors were just insane. I don't know what was going on. I also heard this one kid talking about sneaking into the girls' like dorm thing. Like, you can imagine like where this is going. I don't think that happened, just considering who that kid was. There is no chance, but he definitely thought about doing it. And this was not a mutual thing, by the way. He just meant he was going to do it. There was no discussion between him and any of the girl. Like, he was just gonna do it by himself and just show up. But yeah, so that was pretty much it. The next day we left, and you know, it was a great experience actually. I didn't shower the entire time. Yeah. Luckily I was in like 6th grade and hadn't really hit puberty, so I think it was probably fine, but I do feel bad for whoever sat next to me on the bus. But yeah, so that's pretty much the story. Thanks for 75 subs. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep posting, and yeah, subscribe if you like the video. I'll see you guys.